Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is June 27th, 2022, and the next big move for crypto is up, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean we can't have some minor retracements as we progress upwards, but the next big move for crypto is up. Mind you, yesterday I wanted to focus on the larger time frames, why we're doing what we're doing. It's very important, because this is a daily show. I don't have time to go through an exhaustive rundown of the large time frame analysis as well as the small time frame analysis. Both are useful. Earlier in my trading career, I would get tunnel vision and sometimes only look at large time frame and sometimes only look at small time frame. It's hard to really be balanced, okay? But large time frame, I know my plan, and I said it yesterday. We are in reversal patterns. We're in consolidation. We're towards the end of these consolidation reversal patterns for most altcoins, right? And just beginning for Bitcoin and Ethereum, other assets, right? And so the large time frame trade, the smart trade is buying on support, right? Around these times, dollar cost averaging into support positions for a large outsized return on your investment. Okay, so just keeping that in mind so you can understand the why of this analysis. Okay, and today I'm going to jump back down into the smaller time frames because there's something to be there's value in that as well. I'm not necessarily scalping. For those of you who are, Godspeed. But I don't see the point in scalping at such a large time frame reversal point. Okay, so I just play, the probabilities, and I don't think that's a great risk reward. And I'm just going to get started with the analysis in a second, but I think this is important to mention. What does Elliott wave theory afford? Okay, some people are like out on Elliott wave theory because they think it's completely subjective, which it's not. It's a tool like any other tool, right? You have to learn how to use it and use it to the best of your ability, but it's not necessarily going to make you money by itself. What's going to make you money is good risk management, good understanding and application of that tool, and then good execution of the edge afforded by that tool. Okay, so what edge does Elliott wave theory afford? In one phrase or in one sentence, it allows you to know when corrections are happening and when they're likely to finish. It allows you to know when corrections are happening and when they're likely to finish. Okay, so and I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm just going to do this really quickly. I'm going to use reserve rights as a good example. Is reserve rights? No, let's use Vervain. Reserve rights. I'm trying to remember which one is a good example of this. I'm going to, I just want to show you all something. Like, this is the whole reason. This is the whole reason we use something like Elliott wave theory, okay? It wasn't reserve rights. It was Vervain. I was correct the first time. Yep. Okay, Vervain. So let's just say Vervain, and I'm gonna jump out of the daily. Let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. We can see fine there. Okay. So we use something like Elliott wave theory to, count waves, and it's not only an academic exercise, right? You don't just want to analyze, but you want to analyze for the sake of giving yourself an edge to trade profitably. So if you look at a chart like this, right, and you see an unmistakable 5-wave impulse, okay, it's really hard to argue against that impulse, right? Everybody who knows anything about Elliott wave knows that, we count impulses in 5 and then retracements in 3. Okay, so you see an advance like that. You're like, ooh, that's great. Okay, how do I get into that action? So this is where skills in Elliott wave theory would afford you an opportunity to buy at an optimal price, right? To get in on this trend, because this trend goes and advances in 5 waves, however you count them. And based on your theory, that it declines or it corrects in 3 waves, okay? Maybe you don't know too much about complex waves, but there's 3 waves somewhere in there. And then somewhere along the lines, you also learned about a Fibonacci retracement level, the 618, the golden mean, which was very important, okay? So you pull your Fib retracement level on this, and just because that the 618 is important, you buy on support, you buy on support, you buy on support. It's highly probable, although I can't really tell you exactly when this is going to resume its upwards trajectory. It's highly probable that it will, number one, and number two, that the lowest it'll go is this 618 golden ratio. So any purchase on support of this golden ratio would have been, and still probably is, a great buy. Now, even so, in all of that, you may not know anything about 333 WXW WXY WXYXZ 333 complex correction. You may not know anything about that. You may not know about that progression, right? You may not know about reversal patterns and, what Elliott called the AB base, or what I call the reversal pattern, right? The A waves, and you may not see the triangle in this B wave. You may not see all of that, okay? Again, you may not know when it's going to turn around, and you may not know exactly the anatomy of the correction, but it allows you, Elliott wave theory, even a rudimentary understanding, allows you to identify a correction and to know more or less the scope of the correction. Is it going to be, that Elliott waves in the second wave typically retrace to between the 382 and the 618, and to a maximum of the 618. Sometimes if you're dealing with a leading diagonal, or when you're dealing with the diagonal, right, you can get a 2 wave that retraces beyond the 618, but it's exceedingly rare. Yeah. So the basics, and that's all that I'm trying to provide on this channel. Obviously, I talk about advanced concepts from time to time, but the way you can use this information practically is by, looking at my analysis, making your own mind up, getting ideas from how I'm seeing the charts, right? And, formulating your own opinions and doing some more research for yourself, with treatises like Elliott Waves Made Simple by Steve Sinclair, or uh, the manual on Elliott Waves, which is Prechter and Frost, right? I think it's 11th edition at this point, published not too long ago, but that is the manual for Elliott wave analysis. So I just wanted to, because I don't talk about that too much on the channel, but I thought that was important. So let's get into it. I think, and by the way, if you're getting value, if you got value from that little pep talk or whatever you thought that was, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm a little confused. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, okay? All I know is that when I zoom out, I saw an advance, right? I counted this as some sort of 3 ending diagonal, okay? Not something you see every day, an ending diagonal in a wave C, okay? Basically ending our flat correction. And so I'm seeing this for many reasons as our bounce. You know this if you're subscribed. Now, if I zoom in, I'm looking for this bounce to produce a move not only to wave 4 of the previous trend, which is around here, but a bit beyond, okay? And the reason being is you typically get an A, a B, and another move, okay? So I don't really know what's going on with Bitcoin. Because look, this is wave 4 of the previous trend, right? So if this were the extent of the A wave, and this A wave, I'm just now thinking of this, okay? And again, this is why I do this show, because it unlocks certain things that are not unlocked. I prepare beforehand, okay? And I look at the charts and I put in, um, my ideas, but sometimes I don't know why when I'm live or when I'm recording, I get other ideas. So I'm looking and I'm seeing that it's possible that your A wave is like this, and that is it. Okay, that's a possibility. It's a possibility because this is wave 4 of the previous trend, and we know that your initial breakup structure targets wave 4 of the previous trend. It can go a bit beyond, but that is sufficient, which would mean that this is the beginning, right? We can have a wave B. This consolidation can last for, quite some time, and it eventually creates a move down to at least the 786 of this move, if not beyond, right? We know wave B can come all the way down to the 1618. However, I still think the next big move for Bitcoin is up, because this strikes me, okay, if I'm not overthinking it, this strikes me as a zigzag, okay? And so this is why I had this in during my preparation. So it strikes me as a zigzag, and what's a zigzag? If you know about Elliott wave corrections, you know that it's a 535 correction. It's a common in wave 2 corrections, but we also get them from time to time in corrective waves in reversal retracements or reversal consolidations, which this would be. So if this is your orthodox low and this is a 5-wave structure, I'm expecting 3 waves. Now, you can get your exceedingly rare running flat correction, but again, it's exceedingly rare. So I wouldn't be surprised if we came down around here, okay? And if I pull my Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom here, I guess it'd be from the bottom right here, you see that, you typically have this 3-wave correction in wave B of your zigzag come between 0.5 and the 618. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin came down to 19.3, right? 19.5, thereabouts, before turning around and targeting 24.6, because 24.6 represents the 1618 Fibonacci extension of this move right here. Okay. At least I thought it did. I guess the 1, 2, 3, 6, but typically these zigzags go to 1618. So I'm going to move that up here. So maybe 26 even, okay? And we would still be in correction, right? So that's what I'm seeing. I don't, and let me just do this really quickly, the pattern analysis, because I do think you have an inverse head and shoulders here, and it's likely that the target would be, yep, see, there we go. You see that? That's confluence right there. I took the target of this, presumptive head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, and the target is exactly our 1618. So there might be something there. Again, I don't know, but again, you just try and make your best guess using the rules and the guidelines of Elliott wave theory to give yourself an edge as to what may happen. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Again, context, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're still in correction, haven't put in their 30 to 40 day reversal consolidation move. However, altcoins are different. I'm going to give you some counts, right? Dodo, I'm seeing this leading diagonal where wave 4 came down much deeper than the 382 of wave 3. Wave 3 was relatively concerted. You got in an extended wave 5, okay? And that wave 5, let's see, did it come to the 1618? Oh my goodness. Do you see that? Guys, do you see that? So, you all know I've been saying this for the past few days. If you have a leading diagonal and you have a concerted wave 3, you're likely to get an extended wave 5. That extended wave 5 is likely to extend to the 1618 of your first 3 waves and the retracement of the 4th. I just showed that to you right now. So that's a very likely count. You never know 100%, but it's highly likely that this is a 5-wave count. Why do I know it's 5 waves? Again, you'd have to zoom out and look at the whole of this. So that's the beauty of Elliott wave theory. You get context. So I took from the context of the whole of this pattern and then, the previous price action, that this should lead into impulsive price action, okay? And so I'm looking already for an impulse. And so whatever prints, I don't know exactly what's going to come of it. Sometimes you got to let it print and then try and make sense of it. So that's kind of how it works. It's deductive and reductive reasoning. And so after that, you get a nice flat correction, a wave 2 flat correction. I anticipate some continuation. I see 3 waves. Maybe this C wave comes a little further down. Okay, that's a possibility. It's likely, or it's possible, but I can also see continuation here from this 5-wave leading diagonal. Okay, that was not something that I saw during my preparation. But again, you see A, B, C, 3 waves. You already came with A down to the 618. So yeah, I'm seeing Dodo on the precipice of continuation. That's why I think the next big move is up. Okay, for Litecoin, I had trouble with this count, but I think what's happening is that you already put in your first 2 waves of an impulse and you're in the midst of a wave 3. So what I'm anticipating is an extended wave 3 that's coming to this level. Whoops. To these levels right here, okay? It's going to hit, I believe, this resistance, come down for wave 4, and then put in a truncated or, a relatively small wave 5. Wave 5, when you have an extended wave 3, is typically the same distance or the same size as wave 1. So that's what I'm anticipating for Litecoin. I don't anticipate a greater retracement because I think we're in the midst of a 3rd wave, okay? That's just by my count what seems most likely. All right. Reserve rights. I'm seeing this as being a clear 5-wave impulse. Okay. I think it's kind of unmistakable that that's impulsive price action. Okay. And what ensues, I think, is a triple 3. Okay. A WXYXZ. Okay. A triple 3 correction. And I think that's it. And what you're getting here is a pump out of this wave 2 complex correction. You don't typically get a flat correction in wave 2. You typically get a sharp correction, right? And so this is interesting, but it's not out of the ordinary. It's actually, although it's a flat, right, and it's a complex correction, it's come down all the way to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. So I wouldn't say it's a shallow correction. So I can still anticipate a relatively shallow correction in wave 4, okay? But a simple one, because this one's complex, right? Just by the guidelines of proportionality and alternation. Okay, Cardano. I'm seeing Cardano put in a leading diagonal. But unlike in the previous leading diagonal that we just saw, I don't think that wave 5 has come to your 1618. Okay, I think wave 5 was a little, it was extended more than the 618, but still you're not hitting the 1618. So I think that you got this leading diagonal. It looks symmetrically, pleasing to the eye, and you have your sharp wave 2 correction. I think you're going to get a pump for wave 3. Okay. And let's do one more. Telcoin. I'm seeing Telcoin in a leading diagonal and I'm seeing a really strong wave 5 extending to the 1618. And the time factor for this is the 618. I anticipate that this happened on July 1st. That's it for me. Hope this was helpful. If it was useful, let me know.